In March 2013, 12.3 million Kenyans participated in the election that, according to IEBC, 50.07% voted for Uhuru Kenyatta to be president. In that election, 14.3 million Kenyans had registered as voters. Over time, and including last year's mass voter registration drive, an extra 1.57 million voters have been enrolled. The provisional register now stands at 15.9 million voters. IEBC is targeting to raise it to 22 million voters by enrolling 6 million more voters in the month-long exercise that begins tomorrow. Now, this number has the potential to tip the election in favor of either the incumbent or the opposition, depending on how their supporters will enroll as voters. Coast region could up its political bargaining power exponentially should more than 700,000 residents targeted by IEBC register. The region currently has 1.3 million registered voters, the poll body is seeking to raise it to 2 million. But this target could spill over to 2.3 million voters should all residents who have been issued with IDs turn out to enroll.
The opposition would focus on, that is Mombasa and Kilifi counties. Because you are having people who have IDs, approximately over 300,000 in Mombasa who have not registered. That's 300,000 can actually are numbers that can give you a governor.
The vote-rich Western region's potential could rise to 2.3 million voters from its 4 counties of Kakamega, Bungoma, Vihiga and Busia. This is if 742,000 ID card holders make use of the registration month. Majority of them are in Kakamega and Bungoma. Most of the leaders from the region have been aligning themselves with the opposition, even though the Jubilee administration has been keen to make inroads. But a key opposition region is about to experience a drastic shift in the game of numbers. The former Nyanza province currently has 2.2 million registered voters, according to IEBC. Over 850,000 are being targeted in the mass voter registration drive to push the number to more than 3 million. The numbers spread across Luo Nyanza and South Nyanza, with Kisii County leading the pack with more than 200,000 potential new voters. The Jubilee Party has been courting the Kisii region in a bid to lure its leaders and residents to its side.
Chris Obure amechaguliwa na ODM, Senator wa Kisii. Wabunge wa Kisii wako hapa, walichaguliwa upande wa ODM. Leo wako ndani ya Jubilee.
Since the opposition have an opportunity to ensure that there is high voter registration in their bases, fortify their bases from the onslaught from the administration, then finally ensure that there is good and high turnout during the election itself.
The expansive Rift Valley region that was critical in electing the Jubilee administration in 2013 has the potential to hit the 5 million voters mark should all the 1.8 million ID holders enlist. IEBC is however targeting 2/3 of them in the 14 counties of the region, being 1.2 million Kenyans. That should move the current numbers of 3.7 million to 4.9 million voters by mid-February. Top counties in the region include Nakuru, Uasin Gishu, Kericho and Trans Nzoia. With its 5 counties, Central Region, the political bedrock of President Uhuru Kenyatta, could raise its numbers to over 3 million should 686,000 new voters enlist. Kiambu County leads the pack with 250,000 projected new voters that could raise the county's tally to 1.2 million voters on its own. Other top counties are Nyeri and Murang'a. Nairobi County, the smallest in size but the largest county in population, retains its high-stakes status. In 2013, residents voted almost in equal proportions for Uhuru Kenyatta and Raila Odinga, with the latter leading the tally with just over 691,000 votes. Kenyatta garnered 659,000 votes. The arithmetic could however change should 855,000 new voters enroll. That could boost the city's numbers to 2.7 million voters, setting the stage for a battle for numbers for both the opposition and the government, a game that could be won at the constituencies and ethnic considerations. In Eastern Region, 3.3 million voters could be up for grabs by mid-next month. IEBC targets to register 955,000 new voters, a significant proportion of them hailing from the lower eastern counties of Machakos, Kitui and Makueni, each of which has the potential to register more than 150,000 new voters. Meru County in the upper eastern, however, leads the region with more than 219,000 potential new voters. The northeastern region trails the rest of the country in the number of voters, but still an important constituency in deciding who clinches the presidency. 111,000 more voters are being sought by IEBC to raise the region's totals to 488,000. Garissa County leads the region with 40,000, while Mandera and Wajir counties have more than 33,000 each, numbers that could also be crucial in settling local political contests.
Elections are won from registration and knowing who your voters are. So to me, if there should be anything that unifies us in terms of election operations, is when it comes to registration. Everyone has a right to mobilize his supporters to go and register as voters.
And so the opposition and government sides are keen to marshal their troops over the next 30 days. President Uhuru Kenyatta is due to participate in different events for the period to sensitize Kenyans to enroll.
Let us get 1 million new voters in Mount Kenya region. Let us get 1 more million voters in the Rift Valley. Let us get 500,000 more voters in Nairobi County. Let us get 1.5 million extra in all other parts of the Jubilee.
Court leader Raila Odinga is scheduled to tour various parts of the country to drum up support for the exercise, starting with various constituencies in Nairobi tomorrow. Odinga will then be touring different parts of Busia, Siaya, Kisumu, Nyamira, Kisii, Homa Bay and Migori in the first week of registration. In the second week, he's set to champion for voter registration in Vihiga, Kakamega, Trans Nzoia, West Pokot, Elgeyo Marakwet, the 3 Ukambani counties and some of the coastal counties.
If they have a follow-through, then they would have actually their numbers that I'm actually either even till the tide, or we might be actually be looking at a possible runoff.
IEBC is targeting to enroll 67% of the country's unregistered citizens who, according to the National Registration Bureau, have been issued with identity cards, a target that may vary at different regions depending on whether targeted populace have collected their identity cards or not, among other logistical circumstances. Sam Gituku, Sunday Live.